Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Yes, I know I'm not Mr. Walter. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. So Mr. Walter has actually gone missing. Where in the world is Mr. Walter? Hi, I'm Justin with New Minds Enrichment. And normally at this time at 2 o'clock we do a Where Around the World with Mr. Walter, but he's missing. You know what? Actually, let me change this. There. It's no longer called Around the World with Mr. Walter. It's called Where in the World is Mr. Walter? All right, guys. So listen, here's what we're going to do. I need you guys to help me try to find Mr. Walter. He has left some clues. Once again, if you're just joining us, Mr. Walter has left some clues for us to find him. I am in the middle of trying to find Mr. Walter. So let's see. Okay, so at headquarters, he suddenly got a phone call from his daughter, and poof, he was gone. He was gone. So what did we find? I think we had one thing at his desk. Where was it? Here it is. Okay. He had a sticky note that said, "It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west." It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west. Oh my goodness. Okay, so listen. If you are watching with us, jump in. I don't know where in the world he is, but we're going to use these clues. So it's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west. Let's start with the whole globe and just kind of take a spin here. So we know, I'll just go big picture. We know that we have the continents. So we have North, so that's great. Maybe he's there. What does it say about North America? What does it say here? North America is a continent entirely within the northern hemisphere and almost all within the western hemisphere. It can also be described as northern hemisphere, western hemisphere. Actually, you know what? Let me just say this. If you're just joining us, hey guys, hey Adam. So I'm seeing that Mr. Walter has gone missing, and he has actually left only one sticky note so far that I have found. It was in headquarters, and it says, "It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west." So we're just going to start with the whole world and just kind of figure out where this guy's at. It says, entirely in the northern hemisphere and almost all within the western hemisphere. Oh, that's good. That's a good clue. So in the wild, wild west. So if you know about the globe can be split into different hemispheres. So hemi means half. And so we can have north and south. Half of that globe is a northern and southern hemisphere. Or you can have east and west, and that would be a hemi, or a hemisphere. So that's a good clue. So maybe it's North America. Hey, I see Anitha joined in. Is that Laya there? If that's you, feel free to join in. Mr. Walter has gone missing, but he has left one clue. It's this sticky note, which is, "It's a brave new world, so help guide me. It's a brave new world with us in this wild, wild west." So I'm thinking it might be North America, but let me just keep going through the different continents here. Because in the Western Hemisphere, you also have South America. So South America is a continent in the Western Hemisphere, mostly in the Southern Hemisphere with a relatively small portion. Hey, Kristen, listen, Mr. Walter has actually gone missing, and the only note we have is, "It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west." He left that note at headquarters. So yeah, Adam, let's find him. Where do you think he is? I'm thinking either probably the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. Those are both inside the western hemisphere. Antarctica is another continent. Antarctica, the southernmost continent, virtually uninhabited. I don't know if he would go there. Like I said, if you're just joining us, Mr. Walter got a phone call from his daughter and gone. So the only note we have is, "It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west." All right, Africa is the world's second largest and second most populous continent after Asia. I don't know if any of the clues match up that. What do you guys think? Put your comments in there. Let me see what you're thinking. Okay, it's also Europe. Europe is a continent located entirely in the northern hemisphere. Back to that hemisphere thing again. Half of a globe. Hemi means half. And mostly in the eastern hemisphere. Interesting. Okay. So I don't know if that ties up with the western hemisphere or the west clue down there. I don't know. Okay, so what are the other continents? Asia. Okay, perfect. Asia. Earth's largest and most populous continent. Adam put he's in Narnia. Yeah, Yeah, knowing him, he probably actually is in Narnia. Nice comment, buddy. Asia is Earth's largest, most populous continent, located primarily in the eastern and northern hemisphere. So it's interesting. So if you do know about the globe and how it's split into different parts, you might also say, I've traveled to the east. And a lot of times that implies going to countries that are within inside Asia. So it's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west. Shay, I see you've just joined us. Mr. Walter has actually gone missing, and we are looking for him. The only clue he has left is it's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west. I need to know which continent to pick. Let's do our very last one here. There's 7 altogether. North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. So Oceania is a geographic region that includes Australasia. My goodness. Okay, so I don't know. Hey, I've got Nadine joining us here too. So Mr. Walter has gone missing, but he has left a clue. So I'm going to give you guys a second, or if you're watching this video later, feel free to pause it. But I'll let those that are inside the chat over here tell us which continent you want to go to. What do you want to try? It's a brave new world with us in the wild, wild west. I'll give you just a second here. Had a really cool chance to talk about the northern and southern hemispheres and the eastern and western hemispheres. So my guess is maybe it's either North America or South America. So where do you guys want to go? Cool, seems a good chat show up here. Okay, good. Okay, give like another 30 seconds here, and then we'll kind of dive in. Again, if you're watching the video, feel free to scrub forward or take a guess here. Okay, all right. We are going to dive into North America. Okay, all right. So Ben, I see that you've just joined us. Mr. Walter has gone missing. We started with the 7 continents, and we don't know what it is. And so the only clue we have is what he left at headquarters. It says it's a brave new world, which kind of reminds me of like Aldous Huxley and the Brave New World book. But I don't know if that would be the case. I don't know if he's gone there on a Soma trip. But maybe it's something about the wild, wild west. So we're going to try North America, and let's see if we're correct here. What do you guys think of when you think of the wild, wild west? I don't know about you guys, but where should I go in North America? North America is pretty big. North America encompasses all of course, Canada up there, and Los Estados Unidos, and all of Mexico and Central America. What do you guys think when you think of Wild Wild West? You know what? I'm actually going to I'm going to Google search that. Wild Wild West. It makes me think of that song from Will Smith. Yeah, Wild Wild West. It was a song, Will Smith, from the 1999 film Wild Wild West, which took place in the United States. I'm looking for a clue. Oh, there it is. Guys, I'm thinking it is Texas, the Wild Wild West. Let's see. Let me zoom in. Let me see what he's got for his clues here. Yep, United States, and zooming into Texas. The second largest state in the United States. The second largest? What? I thought Texas was bigger than everything. If you know what the biggest state is, put it into the comments now. So Texas is the second largest state in the United States by area and population, located in the south central region. Well, okay, cool. It looks like we found Mr. Walter. Looks like he is somewhere in Texas. So, no worries there. That's helpful. And hold on. Getting a phone call. Hello? Oh. It's one of those things where it gives a voice message but as a text. Yeah. Oh, here. Let me send it to you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can see it. Let's see what this is. All right. Okay, I just put it up on the screen. It's from Mr. Walter. It says, studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. Studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. So he must be at McDonald's having a hamburger. That sounds like Mr. Walter. I don't know if that's true or not. Guys, what are you studying? Studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. Okay, so Texas is the Lone Star State. We know that. You guys have any ideas? Put something in the comments here. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, the Wild Wild West. Oh no, we gotta focus. We gotta focus. Okay, McDonald's. Okay, so that does get me thinking a little bit. Have you guys ever? Oh, Shay put into the comments the largest state's Alaska. There you go, buddy. McDonald's is a. It's actually there's a restaurant, but there's one of the darkest spots in the entire United States is the McDonald's Observatory. Let me zoom in there and see if I find anything. It's here, kind of in the middle of Texas, what you would call West Texas. Let's see, McDonald's Observatory. There we go. Okay. So yeah, check this out. You can actually, your whole family can go camping out here, and the name of the street is Dark Sky. What a great name for a street. Okay, so there's the McDonald's Observatory. So that would make sense. He wouldn't go to a McDonald's. He would go to the McDonald Observatory. That makes some sense. Okay. I don't know. Let me try to zoom in a little bit, see if I can get down to the amphitheater. Let me see. Okay. All right. So this is actually at the amphitheater outside, obviously. And oh, cool! Look, you can see some of the telescopes there. There's a telescope up there on that hill. You know, and the McDonald Observatory actually sounds really familiar to me. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Stardate on NPR. Give me some love in the comments if I've ever heard of Stardate. For about 20 years, it was hosted by a lady named Sandy Wood. Hello, this is Sandy Wood with Stardate. And now I think it's hosted by Billy something. I apologize. If you know what it is, put it in the comments there. But yeah, so every single day on Stardate, they give little facts about the universe. So super cool. So once again, you can come camping here. But back on trying to find Mr. Walter, though, I don't see any notes. Studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. I don't. Is there a star on the ground? No. Okay. You know what? Let me look up. Let me look up McDonald Observatory real fast. Do you guys have any hints though? Like, what should I do with Lone Star? Do you think, or the Lone Star of McDonald's? What does that mean? And why would you leave that in a voice message? Okay, let's see. Okay, McDonald Observatory. Visit the observatory. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, feel free to check out some clues and see if you can guess before we get to the answer. Let's see. Okay. It's an astronomical observatory located near the unincorporated community of Fort Davis in Jeff Davis County, Texas. Located in the Davis Mountains. Ooh, you can see the Milky Way. Here's something. The observatory is part of the University of Texas at Austin. Okay, it's an organized research unit of the College of Natural Sciences. Okay, let me go back to this clue real fast. Studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. The Lone Star of McDonald's. So the University of Texas at Austin, maybe? There's a Lone Star supercomputer. Yeah, exactly. Why is he studying? Kristen says, yes, Stardate. This is Sally Wood with Stardate. Hey, Doug, if you're just joining us, buddy, I just saw that. Mr. Walter has gone missing. And the only thing he has left so far has taken us to the McDonald Observatory in Texas. And he left this voice message which says, studying at the Lone Star of McDonald's. The only thing I've got so far is that he's in the Lone Star State. Well, we know that already. But it is owned by the University of Texas at Austin, or is part of the University of Texas at Austin. So how about let's jump to Austin, see if we find anything. It's worth a shot. Okay, Austin. Austin is the state capital of Texas, an inland city bordering the Hill Country region, home to the University of Texas flagship campus, Austin, known for. Okay, Man, yeah. I've been on Austin many times. I'm here in the state of Texas, and so that's kind of cool. There's the Colorado River that's flowing through, and there's some stuff there. Definitely some highlights and some marks there. Okay, okay. All right, let's dive into where the Lone Star is actually at. So there's a Lone Star at the Capitol building, and you can see it. I'm going to dive into the Capitol here. There's street level, Linden Library, Capitol. Okay, this is probably a little bit embarrassing to admit, but I did not learn this until I was an adult. Capitol, OL, is the name of the Capitol building or Washington Capitol. AL is the actual Capitol itself. I know that sounds embarrassing to learn at such an old age. So we're going to it's the Capitol building with an O there. Okay, all right. So, man, let me kind of zoom in just real fast here. Take a peek. Oh my gosh. Hey, I've got a good guess here. It says he's at the UT Austin Campus Library. Why do you think that? Nadine, why do you think he's there? Okay, well, I'm waiting for Nadine to respond. Let me just kind of give a little peek at the Texas Capitol building. And it's kind of neat, actually. So this is, you can see some of this Renaissance architecture. Now, this was built in the late 1800s. I want to say 1888. I've been down there a couple times. And it's just beautiful. And it's made out of this pink and red granite. And at that time, I know it was really tough to kind of quarry that stuff and bring it all in and get all that together. But you know what? Just real fast on that neoclassical piece, that Renaissance piece, just look at those colonnades. Does it remind you of any kind of other buildings you've seen? Any kind of other kind of Capitol buildings? Okay, I don't see Mr. Walter yet. All right, let me zoom in here. Let me look in the back. The back's actually kind of interesting. So you can see there's a couple things here. Zoom in past that guy. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, check this out. So a lot of times when we think of a rotunda, you think about walking into a building and looking up. So imagine how fast you walked into this building and you looked up and you saw this beautiful rotunda. Well, in the back of the Capitol building is an inverted rotunda, which means that you look down. So let me see if I can give you some perspective. You're behind the Capitol building now, and you are looking this way. And below you is actually, let me zoom back out and give you some perspective. So you might think this is just the building in and of itself, and you would be right. That's the majority of the building. But man, do you know that a bunch of it's underground over here? It looks like little pools of water, but it's not actually. It's those are glass that you can look down and see people walking in the hallways down there. It's incredible. And then this rotunda. Okay, but I'm still not seeing him, so I am going to use Nadine's wild guess. For the UT Library. Let's jump over. So University of Texas at Austin, one of our famous state schools here. Public Research University, Flagship Institute. Okay. And so, hey, if you're familiar with the University of Texas at Austin, there's the Longhorns. How's that? Okay, but studying, you'd be in the library. So you would be in the... Now, this is one of the most famous libraries, Lyndon B. Johnson Library. There it is, Lyndon B. Johnson Library. And it's beautiful. Let's see if I can get a little cool view here. And... Okay, let's see. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. So President Lyndon B. Johnson, his wife Lady Bird. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, that was cool. Zooming in. Ha! Here we are inside the library. And if I keep turning, I should see... Where's that chap? Guys, you're not going to believe this. There's Mr. Walter. We found him. We found him inside the Lyndon B. Johnson Library. All right. Congratulations. And again, if you're watching this later, I hope you had a chance to go through the different clues and have a good time. Let me just say real fast, I'll just back up and take a pause here. So half of this is true. So Mr. Walter, he did have a phone call today, and it was from his daughter. His daughter attends the University of Texas at Austin, and because of all that's going on with the COVID, they've actually decided to go ahead and shut down the campus. And so they gave him a time window today. They said you have to be here at 12 o'clock to come pick up all the stuff from the dorm room. So that poor guy and his daughter, they had to head down there and they had to pick up all the stuff from the university. So that part was true. So he really wanted to be here today. He really does apologize for not being a part of this with you today. But over the phone, we just had kind of batted it back and forth and had an idea. Could we have some fun and try to track him down? So I hope you've enjoyed traveling around the world in the state of Texas and finding Mr. Walter. And there he is right there, looking into the pictures of the presidents at the Lyndon B. Johnson Library at the University of Texas in the state capital of Austin, in the state of Texas, in the country of the United States, in the North America continent, on this beautiful, beautiful world that you travel around every day with Mr. Walter. All right, guys, have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you for joining me.